Prepare to explore the science behind weather. Why do meteorologists predict the weather?
Because they have nothing better to do?
No. The main reason that meteorologists predict the weather is to keep people safe from severe weather such as blizzards, lightning, tornadoes, and hurricanes.
Really? That's true? Are you sure?
Yes, and meteorologists observe weather patterns for your area and tell people what they should plan for their day, and warn people about coming storms.
That's amazing. I think I might become a weatherman one day.
Maybe I will too!
How do meteorologists predict the weather? The old-fashioned way of predicting the weather was to observe the clouds and determine the types of clouds and what they mean. But today, meteorologists use advanced instrumentation, data processing, and modeling techniques to track storms and observe conditions through the different layers of the atmosphere. In short term, to track exactly where storms are headed, meteorologists use satellite and radar technologies. The Doppler radar, as you can see here, shows radar signatures on maps. These signatures indicate where rain is falling, and it can be played in motion to show the direction of the storm. The color red often indicates thunderstorms. Satellite technologies, like you see here, take multiple pictures of the Earth, which shows a general movement and structure of the cloud tops.
What are the different types of clouds, and what do they mean? Clouds are formed from the water cycle from the step condensation. The water cycle is a cycle that turns water into clouds, then rain, and back to clouds. All clouds have something to do with the cycle. All clouds are different in their own way. Polluted factories or water creates smog clouds. Regular clouds are from the water cycle. Storm clouds are created from the water cycle, except they are charged with energy that creates lightning. All clouds have their reason for being there. Smog clouds mean there is something polluting the air. Regular clouds mean the water cycle is at work. Upper level clouds are called cirrus clouds. Medium level clouds are called stratus clouds. Lower level clouds are called nimbus clouds. Cumulus clouds are tall, puffy clouds that can produce rain or build into violent storms. Storm clouds that produce thunder and lightning are called cumulonimbus clouds. Clouds can do many things to our lives. Regular ones just create shade. Storm ones can create thunder and lightning and heavy rain. Polluted ones can create acid rain, which is also what caused the Statue of Liberty to become green. Sometimes storm clouds create lightning and can hit sand. The extreme heat causes the sand to melt. Once it cools, it can form into glass.
How does precipitation work? Precipitation works through the water cycle. First comes evaporation, when standing water on the ground evaporates into the air as water vapor. That water vapor rises. When it hits cool air, it condenses and forms clouds. When the clouds become saturated, precipitation occurs. What temperature scenarios do you need to get the following types of precipitation? Snow, sleet, freezing rain, and rain. To get snow, you need the entire atmosphere to be at or below the freezing temperature of 32 degrees Fahrenheit as precipitation falls from the clouds to the ground. To get sleet, the precipitation first exits the clouds as snow, as the upper levels of the atmosphere are cold. Then, that hits a shallow layer of warm air, so the snowflakes melt into raindrops. But then, the deep layer of the atmosphere is cold, so raindrops will freeze again and become little ice pellets, also known as sleet pellets. One of the most frequently asked questions is, what's the difference between sleet and hail? Well, sleet occurs during winter in cases like this. Hail is bigger and occurs in thunderstorms. To get freezing rain, once again the precipitation first falls as snow, but then it runs into a warm layer and melts completely. It remains rain all the way until it hits the ground, where there's a shallow layer of cold air at the surface. So the rain freezes on contact, often creating a sheet of ice on all surfaces. This can be one of the most dangerous types of winter weather when the ice actually accumulates. And finally, to get rain, of course, the entire atmosphere must be warm with a temperature of above 32 degrees Fahrenheit.
What are hurricanes, what do they do, and how do they form? Hurricanes are a violent tropical storm with sustained winds of at least 74 miles per hour. They form over warm ocean waters, often off the west coast of Africa and in the Caribbean. First, a cluster of thunderstorms come off the west coast of Africa and move westward. These are called easterly waves. It's fueled by water vapor from the warm waters of the Atlantic. It then becomes a cyclone and eventually strengthens into a hurricane based on water temperature and upper level wind shear. It continues to strengthen until it strikes the east coast of the USA. These storms can have winds up to 190 miles per hour. They always cause serious damage in coastline areas.
How do tornadoes form? Tornadoes form in thunderstorms called supercells. Downdrafts and updrafts create a horizontal spin in the atmosphere near the ground. Then, a strong updraft comes up from the ground and tilts the horizontal rotation vertical. As the vertical rotation gets stronger, a funnel cloud forms in the storm cloud and eventually reaches the ground. It is now a tornado, a spiraling deadly mass of clouds and debris, ripping up everything in its path. Tornadoes are commonly found in flat areas. Hills cause the air cycle to stop, and henceforth the tornado stops. The area from Texas to North Dakota in the plains of the Midwest is called Tornado Alley. Flat ground makes it easier to move and gives the tornado a stronger force. The Fujita scale tests the tornado's strength. F1 is the lowest, and F5 is the highest. F1s cause minor damage and can break windows. F5s can lift houses out of the ground. The faster the wind, the stronger the tornado. They're most commonly created during the spring and summer. The strength of the tornado is rated from the level of damage. Weak ones can unhinge roofs and shatter glasses. Strong ones can lift entire houses up.
How does hail form? Hail forms in thunderstorms. Temperatures in the upper levels of cumulonimbus cloud and are below freezing, so precipitation freezes into balls of ice and gets carried down by downdrafts in the cloud, then carried back up repeatedly into the cold part of the cloud, so the ice continues to get bigger. When they get too heavy, they eventually fall to the ground of speeds over 150 miles per hour as hail. Remember, hail is different than sleet.
Lightning. How does it work? Lightning is an electrical discharge produced in thunderstorms. Lightning can occur within a cloud, between two clouds, or from cloud to ground. There's also heat lightning, which is when lightning is visible, but it's too far away to hear any thunder at all. A lightning discharge can heat the air as much as 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun, which is equivalent to 54,000 degrees Fahrenheit. This heated air causes expansion in the air, or in other words, the energy causes the air molecules to bounce violently off each other, creating a violent shock wave. This then becomes a sound wave, reaching the human ear as thunder. There can't be thunder without lightning. Unless you're directly under a lightning bolt, thunder always comes after a flash of lightning, because light travels much faster than sound. Because it takes the sound about 5 seconds to travel each mile, the time between the lightning and the thunder can give a rough estimate of how far you are from a thunderstorm. So every 5 seconds you count between lightning and thunder is a mile. How lightning works. To have lightning, there must be positive and negative electrical charges in the right spots. The clash of positive and negative charges in the cumulonimbus cloud and on the ground is what causes lightning. But there are several hypotheses as to how this occurs. Let me just give you one common example. This mechanism involves little tiny falling ice particles that transfer ions. Ions are electrically charged atoms that have lost or gained an electron. The electrons are very tiny, negatively charged particles. This results in a positively charged upper part of the cumulonimbus cloud and a negatively charged middle and lower part, causing the ground underneath to become positively charged. A small spark high in the cloud causes a spurt of electrons to rush toward the ground in a zigzag motion, creating a charged channel called a step leader. These electrons are negatively charged, so all you need now is a positive trigger to activate the lightning. Once the step leader is within 10 and 100 meters of the ground, the positive charge is created. It's a current that comes up from conductive objects on the ground, like a tree. These currents launched from these objects are called streamers. Once the positive streamers meet the negative step leader, boom! The entire channel explodes in a massive charge of electricity called lightning. This particular phenomenon occurs with cloud-to-ground bolts of lightning. During a thunderstorm, the tallest objects are most likely to be the target areas for lightning to strike. Never, ever stand under a tree that's out in the open during a thunderstorm, as you can see here. At any moment, there are about 2,000 thunderstorms worldwide, generating about 100 lightning flashes per second. A lightning stroke can deliver a current as great as 100,000 amperes, which can cause severe electrocution in humans and animals. About 100 people die in any 1 year in the United States alone from lightning, and lightning causes billions of dollars in damage each year. I know the whole phenomenon of lightning is extremely complicated. In fact, there's much more to it. But now you kind of get the gist on some of the science behind lightning.
How hail forms. You just ruined it, Jason.
Ready? So count.
How does hail form?
Count down.
Hail forms.
Wait,
It's how
you're not recording, are you? Oh my God! Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off, dude.
levels of cumulonimbus cloud are below freezing. So precipitation. I don't know how I screw up on that one.
It is now a tornado. A spiraling, deadly mass of clouds and debris, ripping up everything. Okay, thanks. Hills cause air cycle to stop. Oh, I already read that part. A spiraling, deadly mass of cloud and debris.
Lightning. 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 Lightning.
Stronger force. The Fajita scale tests the tornado's strength. F1 is the lowest, and F5... Okay, no, I'm gonna read it as the Fajita scale. You can tell me what to read now. Got it? Upper level clouds are called cirrus clouds. Clouds can do many things to our lives.
Yeah, he said
Right?
something.
Okay, what is your problem, dude? What is your problem?
You said something wrong.
Yeah, you don't have to redo it. It's not like anybody there is smart enough to realize that.